Hey guys, it's Shane again. I'm here to bring you my first mock draft on YouTube. Now remember, a lot of things are going to change between now and the draft. It's about 3 months away, so players are going to move, teams are going to have different needs when all's said and done, but I think it's a good starting point right now. Secondly, remember that this is for me to predict picks, not really to make people happy, so if you don't like the pick your team gets, I'm sorry, but I think it's a possibility. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Pick number 1. Here we go. The St. Louis Rams select Sam Bradford, quarterback out of Oklahoma. I guess I'm starting out with a little bit of a surprise, but the golden rule of the NFL draft is if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you get one. Now I know Ndamukong Suh is by far the best prospect in the draft. I also know that most fans are very down on Sam Bradford, but scouts love the guy. His shoulder checks out, and it will, and he'll be in contention for the #1 overall pick. His accuracy, poise, and intangibles all liken him to teams. His arm strength is underrated. He'd fit in really well with St. Louis if they build around him. This isn't likely to be a pick that the fans love, but if they like one of these two quarterbacks, I think they have to take one at #1. And the Detroit Lions select Ndamukong Suh, defensive tackle out of Nebraska. Suh was the most dominant defensive player of the past decade in college football. There might not be a better place for him to go than a rebuilding Lions franchise. He can lead the defense, cause havoc, and along with Matthew Stafford, help turn around an ailing franchise. Lions would leap to the podium to get him at #2. He'd at least free up space for other defenders to make plays. Suh consistently beat double teams in college and will bring that intensity to the NFL. This is something that the Lions have severely lacked for a long time, so he would be an amazing pick for them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. The Bucs absolutely love McCoy. They sent their general manager to the Sun Bowl against Stanford just to get a close look at him. While Suh got all the talk this year, McCoy is just as talented, especially as an inside pass rusher. There are definitely camps that feel that he could be the better pro prospect of the two even, and he would look like Warren Sapp in a Bucs uniform. Great fundamentals, coupled with a variety of pass rush moves, allow McCoy to be a dominant force and easily is a top 3 pick in 2010. Don't be surprised if the Buccaneers move up even if they have to get him. The Washington Redskins select Jimmy Clausen, quarterback out of Notre Dame. With the new restricted free agent rules this year, Jason Campbell is going to be sticking around in DC. However, I'd imagine Shanahan wants to bring in his guy to groom and possibly let him take over before the year's over. Daniel Snyder loves the flash, which is definitely who Jimmy Clausen is. He has all the NFL caliber talent. The question will be if his attitude and pedigree would carry him to be a successful NFL quarterback. Redskins can find O-line and running back later in the draft, but at #4, they have to take their future franchise. Shanahan will ride Clausen to success or failure. The Kansas City Chiefs select Eric Berry, safety out of Tennessee. Big hits, athletic interceptions, and lightning quick reaction speed. That is Eric Berry. Chiefs have one of the worst safety duos in the NFL, so the best safety prospects in Sean Taylor would be a welcome addition. Berry can get up to the line and lay the lumber on big running backs. Berry can stay in center field and read the quarterback's eyes for a pick 6. Berry and Flowers would be a pair for about a decade to lead this defense and make plays for the Chiefs. When you combine best player available with the big need, you get a slam dunk, which is what the Chiefs would be getting with Eric Berry. The Seattle Seahawks select Anthony Davis, offensive tackle out of Rutgers. There is a debate looming of who the top left tackle is in this draft, Russell Okung or Anthony Davis. We'll find out by April, but I guess Davis's upside will win out by then. If so, and both quarterbacks are gone, Coach Pete Carroll can start building from the trenches. Former Pro Bowler Walter Jones is all but out of Seattle, and with 2 first-round picks, they can easily afford to start with left tackle. Davis is big, but he has some athleticism. Should be able to lock down a left tackle spot as a rookie. With the right coaching, he could dominate. Don't be surprised if both offensive tackles end up as top 10 picks when all is said and done. The Cleveland Browns select Joe Hayden, cornerback out of Florida. Hayden is far and away the best corner in this draft. Great intelligence, superb athleticism, and playmaking ability that is unmatched. He's shooting up draft boards. Is corner Cleveland's biggest need? Not at all, but it's tough to pass up a player of this magnitude. Combine Hayden and Eric Wright, you have a tandem that can shut down opposing passers and free up your defense to focus in on the run. Browns' offense is still in shambles, but I can't imagine what direction they would go here in the first round. They should save it for the rest of the draft. Get a lockdown corner and don't look back. The Oakland Raiders select Everson Griffin, defensive end out of USC. Worst kept secret is that Al Davis loves physical freaks. Whether it be 40 times or throwing a football 65 yards on one knee, those make Al lick his lips. In this draft, he'll likely want Everson Griffin, Carlos Dunlap, and Taylor Mays rolled into one. After sending half of their scouting crew to USC's Emerald Bowl to scout Mason Griffin, I think they may go the defensive end route here and get a workout warrior in Everson. Is this too high for him? For sure. That never stopped Al Davis before. He wasn't as productive as you want a top 10 pass rusher to be, but hey, productivity is overrated. Right, Raiders? Sorry, Raiders fans. The Buffalo Bills select Dez Bryant, wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. For the most ridiculous suspension ever, Dez Bryant's declaring for the NFL Draft. His stock is close to that of Michael Crabtree's from last year. Dez Bryant is that good. Amazing speed, body control, along with the return threat, Bryant looks like a #1 NFL wide receiver. With T.O. out of town, Bills will need a wide receiver again, especially after James Hardy busted. Evans and Bryant could be a deadly combo for whatever quarterback the Bills bring in. A few small character concerns, but Bryant should light it up at the combine, and he'll be a monster, solidifying himself as a top 10 pick. The Denver Broncos select Sergio Kindle, linebacker out of Texas. The question here is, do the Broncos want an inside linebacker to pair with DJ Williams, or an outside linebacker to pass rush with Elvis Dumervil? I went with the latter, and Kindle seems likely. After removing first-round pick Robert Ayers to defensive end, the team's hurting on pass rushing depth behind Dumervil. Kindle had a down year statistically, but he was still all over the backfield. Tossing one of the few players in the national championship who sparkled for the Longhorns, Kindle looks like a top 15 pick. He can definitely stand up on the 3-4, which could add another layer to this new Broncos defense. Jacksonville Jaguars select Derek Morgan, defensive end out of Georgia Tech. Jaguars' pass rush is terrible. It's abysmal. Horrendous. Derek Harvey and Quentin Grooves look mediocre. Maybe it isn't time to give up, but I think going through another year without a pass rush would kill this team again. Enter Derek Morgan, the best pass rusher in this draft. There are numerous scouts who cited him as having top 5 talent, so this is definitely not too high for him. Jacksonville does like building the trenches, and those obviously aren't sexy picks, but they can help you win. Jaguar fans should just be happy I didn't give them Tim Tebow. Though, trade down to take him, it is possible. Don't be surprised if it does happen. I mean, they need to sell tickets, right? The Miami Dolphins select Rolando McClain, linebacker out of Alabama. Before people start talking about how McClain is too low, just think of his position. The lead inside linebacker prospects have gone around here. Patrick Willis at 11, Gerard Mayo at 10. McClain has very few weaknesses, but just may not be a sexy pick for top 10 teams who want to instantly change their defense. Dolphins inside linebacker has been a mess this year. You can't count on Channing Crowder. McKinnon Odell is just bad. Enter a guy like McClain who wraps up well, is explosive from sideline to sideline, and can even rush from up the middle. He'd be a great fit, and a guy I imagine Bill Parcells could definitely pull the trigger on for the Dolphins coming into 2010. The San Francisco 49ers select Russell Okung, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State. Russell Okung has had an up-and-down season, but that's to be expected from left tackles. After a poor bowl game, I don't think he's a top 5 pick some people are touting him to be. That being said, the 49ers would sure love to have him at 13. The offensive line was one of the worst in the NFL at times for the Niners. Joe Staley more of a right tackle, Okung could squeeze in the left tackle spot and find a niche protecting Alex Smith. Okung is athletic and moves his feet with the best of them, but he can lose focus at times and needs to build more strength. It's a great pickup at 13, and he definitely could go higher. We'll see what happens. Seattle Seahawks select C.J. Spiller, running back out of Clemson. If you watch Spiller at any point this season, I guarantee your jaw dropped. The best return man in this draft, along with the best running back, Spiller could have a Chris Tennis Speed Johnson effect on the team that drafts him. Another guy scouts tout as a top 5 talent who may fall due to position. I'm sure the Seahawks would love to grab a playmaker here at 14 to pair with Justin Forsett. Best thing about Spiller is that he's shown the ability to go inside and outside. He isn't afraid of contact, and has broken opposing players' ankles with his moves on more than one occasion. No running back can touch him in this draft. No quarterback worth nabbing, might as well build an elite run game. The New York Giants select Brian Price, defensive tackle out of UCLA. The Giants sent down a scout to the Eagle Bank Bowl to watch Price take on Temple. After a decent performance, they could be in position to upgrade the intensity of their interior with Price. The defensive tackle wasn't the biggest need. I think they want a game changer who can help in stopping the run as well as provide a pass rush up the middle. Rumor is they also want to upgrade their linebackers badly as well as their safeties, so be prepared for anything to happen with the Giants. Price himself should go in the middle of the first with a great motor and excellent athleticism for a guy his size. Some team could really fall in love with him.
Having a good time, having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.